Summer is winding down, the major trade shows are all packed away, and the dust has finally settled on next year's new bike launches. So which bikes are going to be flying off the showroom floors and down a trail near you in 2020? Here's our pick of the hottest trail bikes. Hope launched its first complete mountain bike, the HB160, to a lukewarm reception. Now it's back with a brand new 29er trail bike, and this new HB130 is packing some proper lead in its pencil. The development of the HB130 has really benefited from a less conservative approach, with more progressive geometry, more impressive suspension, and a lighter build that makes it far more engaging to ride. It's still made by hand in Hope's Lancashire factory, still uses an exquisite carbon front triangle mated to a machined alloy back end, and you can still buy it accessorised with a rainbow of anodised components. Nukeproof's first dedicated trail bike in 4 years, the Reactor packs 140mm or 150mm of travel depending on whether it comes with 29-inch or 27.5-inch wheels. There are both carbon and alloy frames, and even the latter comes with lightweight carbon seat stays. It's a striking frame with lots of angular elements, so it looks sharp, but the focus of the design has been to create a fun, engaging ride quality, and from our experience so far, it's worked. The Reactor is playful and exciting to ride, with plenty of pop and a really active suspension response. Storage wars. No, not a show about bidding on other people's abandoned junk, but the growing trend for internal frame storage. Specialized kick things off with its SWAT, and other brands such as Bergamont have followed suit, but none have squared up to the Big S with quite as much front as Trek. In fact, the new Fuel EX uses an almost identical opening to Specialized, with a hatch beneath the bottle cage. Elsewhere, it's pumped up the fork travel to 140mm and ditched the 27.5 plus tyre model. Trek's revised rear suspension design does away with the full floater shock mount and introduces a new reactive through-shaft shock. Longer, slacker geometry gets paired with longer dropper posts, and the end result is a real trail weapon that rides like a mini enduro bike. For the latest Kona Process 134, Kona has combined the best parts of two platforms to produce a trail bike that's fast, fun and ridiculously capable. It's taken the 29-inch wheels, speed and progressive attitude of the old Process 111 and combined these attributes with the modern layout and manufacturing methods used on the current Process 153. The end result is the first full carbon Process frame, and it's super clean. The stays are narrower than on the 153, so you don't get any heel rub, and the tubing profiles have been reduced substantially to make the frame the best part of 500 grams lighter. Yes, the top of the range Process CRDL isn't the cheapest option, but after 2 days solid riding, it proved that it's a high performance bike that can hold its own in any situation and against any competition. Like a cocksure Jack Russell, the Santa Cruz Tallboy has no concept of its own size and stature and will happily take on anything, even if that gets it in a spot of bother in the process. If you like a less is more approach to suspension travel, but prefer to have the geometry and attitude that lets you hang it out on the ragged edge, then you'll love this new Tallboy. It uses the lower link driven VPP design to improve the suspension performance, but the real key to this bike's success is the sizing and geometry, whereby the slack head angle and generous reach combines with a low seat tube and long dropper post to let you upsize or downsize depending on your preference. Orbea knows a thing or two about designing a desirable bike, and the new Occam trail bike is arguably its hottest yet. This 29-inch trail bike rocks 140mm of rear wheel travel with your choice of either 140mm or 150mm fork up front. The carbon monocoque frame with its single-sided brace is one of the prettiest around, and using the impressive My Orbea service, you can customize it from a palette of stunning colour combinations. Okay, so you can only access your bottle with your left hand, but when the bike looks this good, who's complaining? If you really want to rock the boat and get something that shuns the mainstream, Forbidden's beautiful Druid is a spellbinding machine. Bang on trend, it uses a high pivot design allied to an idler pulley to help carry momentum over the chunkiest terrain in the trail bike kingdom. This setup is talk of the town in downhill racing, but Forbidden is one of the only trail bikes you can buy using this configuration. It takes a bit of getting used to, and it won't suit every rider or every trail, but it's a unique offering that's beautifully resolved. Intense has worked hard to refine its trail bike offering for 2020, and the result is the redesigned primer. It fills the shoes previously occupied by the Recluse, ACV and Spider, so it dramatically simplifies the range, although there are still 3 wheel size options to choose from. Yes, alongside the obvious 29 and 27.5 inch models, Intense has built a mixed wheel mullet bike called the Primer S. It gets a 29 inch wheel up front paired with a 27.5 wheel at the back, mounted in a standard 29er frame. The reason is to give greater clearance at the back, while maintaining good rollover up front and also help keeping the bike agile and playful. It's another trend that has its roots in downhill racing, as well as e-bikes, where the big footprint of the 2.8 inch back tyre adds grip, much like a motocross bike. Will it take off? Well, it's too soon to tell really, but Intense is one of the only brands out there doing it, so at the moment it's enjoying a bit of a monopoly.